Hello and welcome to the video. This video is for the 500 subscriber giveaway build project. We're going to be doing some updates here and a few more questions that are a little too many options to put into a poll. So we're going to do it in video form, and I'll be looking for your comments below. And while you're down there in the comments section, make sure you're reading everybody else's and hitting the thumbs up on anything else you like. But let's get back to how we got to where we're at with this project and go through the polls so far. Poll number 1 being the original 3-in-1 question, stock, custom, advanced custom. The advanced custom winning by a pretty good margin there. So moving on to poll 2 was about further elaborating on the advanced custom with options either extra wild, being those totally redesigned body panels that would have to be grafted onto the body. A wild custom being basic changes such as roll pans and grills, or the mild custom being something custom but sticking with the factory style body panels. And the mild custom factory body panels taking the win there. So poll 3, what is the essential theme of the project? 1 being a street or day 2 type look. Number 2 being a weekend warrior, limited track car. Number 3 being a modern custom, or 4 being an old school custom. And by a pretty good lead, the weekend warrior takes the win. So we are going with a race car. And what kind of race car are we going with? Well, poll 4 was either drag racing or circuit racing. And nearly 2-to-1, the drag racing wins out over the circuit racing. So now we are a drag car and stock trim. Let's figure out the power plant. In poll 5, it was either a tri-carb or a blown engine. And by a very narrow margin, the blower takes the lead on this one. So now we are a blown drag car. How should the car look? Nose up, kind of old school gasser-ish. Level or nose down, the traditional modern look. And by a pretty good landslide, the nose down takes the lead. So now we are a modern looking blown drag car. How about our insides, the interior? Are we going street strip, competitive with just some weight reduction, seats removed? Or are we going full out try hard and getting rid of everything we possibly can? And again, by a landslide, the street strip, the full trim interior is the option we're going, which makes it easier on me, and I appreciate that. So number 8 being paint. How are we going to paint up our drag car? Are we going basic, like factory colors, factory look? Are we going to go with something custom? And nearly 2-to-1 again, the custom wins out. Well, what kind of custom painting are we going to do? Poll number 9. We're going to find that out. Either modern, which is pearls, color shifts, maybe matte flat colors, or retro, 80s, 90s, stripes, strobes, synthwave, you know, the teals and pinks of the arrows. Or we go on vintage 60s, 70s from fades and panels, or the stripes and sunset looks. And vintage wins out there with 62%. We had a lot of votes there with 68, which was nice to see. And poll number 10, let's narrow that paint scheme down. 50s or 60s, such as fades and panels. 60s, 70s, such as panels and designs with lace. Or 70s, 80s, such as those stripes and sunsets. And by a pretty good lead, the 60s, 70s wins out. So we are going with panels with designs or lace and some candy paint work. Moving into number 11, what color is our main car going to be? Silver, gold, or white. And silver wins by a pretty good margin. So we got a nice silver base color. Lots of options to go with. And what kind of silver are we going with? A coarse metallic like the Pontiac, a finer metallic, or are we going to go with a big old flake? And the finer metallic wins out. And from there, we went with, are we going with a single color theme with the silver, dual colors, or are we going multi or all the colors? And by a pretty good, with nearly half the votes, the dual color option wins out. And that's kind of where we are at. So that means we've reached our first question of the video. Which two colors are we going to go with? And here's a look at some options we have. We have red, orange, yellow, green, blue, and smoke. And of course any combination of those that we can come up with. Maybe like a purple in there with the blue and red. But which two colors should we go with, guys? Should we go with something similar like a yellow and orange? I did the blue and green on the Pontiac. Maybe a black and another color, or the smoke. It's not quite. It's got a little bit of a brown yellow tone to it, but it's pretty close to a black candy. Let me know your thoughts down below. I have 100 options I could go with, but this build is for you guys, as I can build any other project my way. Let me know which way you think. But I think this lower one or this middle one will be our kind of our base silver. If that helps you guys out any. This top one being what the Pontiac was done in, so you can kind of see the metallics there. But we're either going with a finer metallic on this build, and obviously not the bigger dancing flake. Give you all sorts of different looks. So which colors should we go with? We could go orange and blue. We could go black and green. We can do whatever you want. Let me know your thoughts and ideas down below. So moving on from that one, let's get into, I've got a little hood options. Can't quite pick which ones to let you guys decide from, so I'm going to put them all out there that I have. And first off is the hoods. Are we going with the smooth hood that already has the hole in it, which I think is kind of a nice look because it's smooth on all three panels on the top then? Or do we go with the kind of a factory look? Since the rest of the car is all factory, do you want to kind of try to retain some of the trim and body lines? So that's kind of a question 2A. And then 2B will be kind of what kind of hole do we want in the hood? You want just an open hole for the scoop. And then we have two different scoops here. We want the one that comes with the kit that's on it now, or maybe the butterfly bug catcher. And then we can move on to, do we leave it, like I said, do we leave it open or do we go with a capped hood? Start off here. We got that look, kind of a more of aggressive look, a little bit wider of the same similar style. Just a basic kind of little scoop there. Real big one, real wide one. And then here's just a real subtle forward one there. That would be the 2B. 2A is which hood, 2B is which scoop, or no scoop. Let me know there. And then we'll get into wheels and other things once we get up kind of painted up. And then we'll still have to figure out our interior color. But I can get the body painted and let everybody know which way y'all voted and which way I went with. And hopefully I can get painting on that this week. If there's any other comments or suggestions you have that we need to go over, make sure you leave them below. And that'll do it for this video. Thanks.
I can't think. What am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to do? Yeah. I can't. supposed to do?